We visited the stomach team and we saw how their objectives were aligned to the company goals and how that helps the overall effectiveness and performance of the company. Let's go and look at the next strategy. Now, the next strategy is around collaboration, but not only collaboration, doing your job properly. Step 1, doing your job properly. Now, teams need to perform on their objectives. Individuals within a team need to perform on their tasks. Now, if you're only concerned about collaboration and what the other teams are doing, you might not be able to do your own job properly. Good work, good collaboration start with every team understanding what they should do, clear objectives aligned to the company goals, and from that, execute their clear objectives perfectly, exceptionally well. We need high performance in that regard. But then we have these critical interaction points where we need to integrate with other teams, where we need to work together with other teams. And then we also need them to be able to hold hands. We also need to be able to collaborate in a way that will be good for the body, good for the corporation. Here I want to use the story of the red blood cells and the alveoli in the lungs. You all know that red blood cells carry these heavy, toxic carbon monoxide molecules from each and every cell in the body through the heart to the lungs, and at the lungs this amazing exchange happens where the carbon dioxide is released in the alveoli and beautiful, fresh oxygen comes back into the body and then transported to each and every cell in the body. So the red blood cells have such an amazing and important job to do for the body to survive, never mind thriving. Now, these red blood cells must do a proper job. They need to carry the oxygen. A very, very small amount of oxygen can naturally dissolve in the water and the other things in your blood. But the red blood cells has this amazing ability to increase that carry load to 10, 20 times. And be able to supply enough oxygen for the body to survive. So they are doing an exceptionally good job. They are doing a brilliant job in what their task is, what their objective is within the bigger goal of the body to survive. Now imagine we are getting close to the lungs, and now the red blood cells are such high performance, and they are so clever, and they are so important and love what they are doing. Now imagine these red blood cells entering the small capillaries close to the alveoli. Now they're becoming impatient because they have such an important job to do, and they have all these schedules and all these tasks that they need to do, and now they need to wait in line until they have their turn to get to the alveoli. So they're getting impatient. They believe they can do a proper job, a better job properly without the alveoli. What will happen? What will happen if these red blood cells starts to just jump the line and do what they believe is the best for doing this transfer that they're supposed to do? Well, the human corporation body will start to cough up blood. That's definitely not a good survival strategy for the body. It might not look good on their performance agreement saying, well, they've done more than they were supposed to do. But that is a critical interaction point. It's a CIP, a critical interaction point. And at the critical interaction points with other teams, we need to abide our time. We need to play with the rules, which is important for two teams getting together. We need to appreciate what the other team will do. It's no good taking things in your own hand and try to look good. Try to be more efficient than the other team and not taking hands as they should. It might look good on your CV, but it will not look good in the overall department, the overall corporation. I'm sure you've seen teams who disregard the collaboration and they disregard the impact that other teams can make. It was very clear to me when we were working on this big contract for this big project that we had to implement, how the contracting team did a brilliant job to understand legalese. Really, it's a different language bringing up a contract. Now, in this contract, there were a lot of technical things to take part of, but the technical guys and the contracting guys can be very frustrated to each other. They talk different languages. The one talks Latin and the other one talks Greek. And now they need to start working together to get this contract correct for the project to be able to to employ the right contractor within budget, within time, and if they do not work together, things go wrong. If the contracting team gets all the legalese things right, and they get all the Latin right, and they get all the contractual elements right, but the technical scope of work and all the things that it impacts are not there and not supported, you will not be able to make the overall project goals properly. In the same way, a technical team can have the best scope of work. They can have the best technical understanding and describe what the contractor must do to the best of their ability. But if they don't think of the contractual implications and they don't understand that environment, again, the project is not going to work well. It will suffer. It's so important in these critical interaction points for the two groups to get together, the two teams to get together, and at this critical interaction point, really put their forces together and interact so that they are able to make their own objectives and the objectives of the project. Collaboration is critical for survival of the body, for survival of your organization. How well does your team do their collaboration? How well do they work together, and how well does each and everyone execute on their own tasks?